Hey up everybody, welcome back to the Audio Cycling YouTube channel, where today I am going to be looking at the VELOGAMES Scheldeprijs. This was won by Jasper Philipsen last year, and it's generally considered to be the Sprinters Classic, so that's going to influence the picks that we're going to be making. Of course, as per usual, what we're going to be doing is looking through all the riders first, and then at the end I'll give you a couple of teams that you could potentially choose and ones that I'm thinking of going with myself. So we've got Fabio Jakobsen as the most expensive rider. We've also got Philipsen up there as well. It's difficult to choose Philipsen perhaps because they also have Merlier here, who seems to be the sprinter in form for that team. I think that more than likely Philipsen will be on leading out duties, but you just don't know for certain because Philipsen won this race last year. I think Jakobsen is without a doubt the guy that you just have to pick. He's probably the fastest sprinter in the world right now, and I think for 24 he's pretty good value. Then you have a lot of guys at 20 points. You've got Ackermann, Ballerini, Groenewegen, Kristoff and Merlier. The best ones are Merlier, Groenewegen and maybe even Kristoff as well. Ballerini will likely be the lead out man, but you don't know, he could end up like just accidentally coming top 5 being the lead out man maybe, or maybe Ackermann could be a decent pick, but I just think that his sprinting is quite inconsistent. I think that you're probably better off going with Groenewegen and Merlier or something like that. And then going down a bit, you don't have any 18 pointers. You've got a couple of 16s. Van Poppel would be a good one because he's likely going to be the sprinter for Bora. There could also be Jordi Meus as well, so just bear that in mind. Florian Vermeersch probably won't be a great pick. He'll be on lead out duties for Arnaud Delis. You've got Cees Bol, who hasn't really been that great this year. I'd probably avoid that one as well. Mezgec will be leading out for Groenewegen. Modelo could be an outside pick, but I haven't really seen him doing too well recently, so I wouldn't recommend that pick either. Edward Turns is an interesting one because I'm not sure who Trek are going to be sprinting for. They've got Leipens, they've got Moschetti, Turns, they've got Abadostori as well. So Trek could go with any of the sprinters. So it's probably best just to avoid that team because you're not sure if you're going to be picking the right rider or not. Nasu Buhani for 12 is really good considering his string of results recently. He came third at Bruges de Pin as well, which was a really good result from him. So for 12 points, Nasu Buhani is absolutely fantastic. You could pick Morkov, who'll be the ultimate lead-out man for Jakobsen. He could finish in the top 10 just because of that. Something like we saw in Milano Torino when he was leading out Cav. You've got Arnaud Delis as the 10 pointer. You've also got Alberto Danesi. He could be another sprinter for DSM. But Arnaud Delis for 10 points is a great value. He's recently won the race in Limburg, and so that's a pretty good one. I think that Timothy Dupont could be a good one, but there is also Aine Alowski on their team. But Dupont is a very fast sprinter in his own right. Luca Mozzato will be the sprinter for B&B Hotels. 8 pointers. Again, not too many I like the look of. You could go Arnie Mari for Sport Baloise, Juan Sebastian Milano if you're thinking that Ackermann might not be sprinting for some reason. But other than that, 6 pointers, Aine Alowski, like I said. And other than that, you don't have too many 6-point sprinters. There is Leipens and there is Moschetti, who could be sprinters for Trek. But I think that you're safer off picking Aine Alowski, in all honesty, or maybe this rider at the bottom. Where is he? Sasha Vemas, he's a sprinter for Baloise. There could also be Arnie Mari, who they sprint for, but Vemas is a pretty good option for me. I think he's looked pretty good in some of the sprints earlier this season. I can't remember which ones, but he has looked fast. 4 pointers, your best ones are actually just at the bottom. You've got Søren Vanskjold, who finished 19th at Bruges de Pin. You've also got Ethan Vernon, who probably won't be sprinting for Quick Step, but what you do have is the possibility of him picking up assist points. This is a category 2 race, so I think you end up getting something like 45 points. I think you might have to double check that, but 45 points potentially for Ethan Vernon. If Fabio Jakobsen wins, you could also go with Kelland O'Brien or something like that if you think that Groenewegen's going to win, or you could go for Le Danois if you think that Buhani's going to win, or you could go for guys in a breakaway. I'd probably recommend going with Novo Nordisk. That's the team which has the diabetes riders in, I think, so they'll more than likely get a couple of riders in the break. Stack up on them if you want to, but actually this isn't too hard of a team to make. So speaking of which, let's just go talk about some teams. This is one that you could go with. I expect this to be seen by quite a few teams. You got Jakobsen, Merlier, Kristoff, Groenewegen as like your big pointers, and then you got Buhani, who's quite undervalued at 12, and then Søren Vanskjold at 4. Your other option is to not go with Buhani, and you save 2 points, go with Arnaud Delis, put those into Vanskjold and take either of the 2 6-pointers that I recommended. So that would be Vemas, or it would be Aine Alowski at the top here. I'd probably say that those are your 2 best 6-pointers. So those are the 2 iterations of teams that I'm thinking of going with. Everybody will be picking Jakobsen, everybody will be picking Merlier. Like, everybody's teams will be pretty similar. The only differential I see is being either Buhani and a 4-pointer or Dali and a 6-pointer. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Is there anything that I'm glaringly missing in terms of riders here? I don't think there is, but please be sure to put any thoughts in the comments down below. And all that is left to say is to keep safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Salut!